Very interesting. Do you think sometimes men would cheat because they don't feel like proper men or respected or important in their relationship? So they go look for somebody who gives them that feeling. You know what's so interesting? That I find that men after children are more likely to cheat. They find after children, and that's when they feel the least appreciated, according to them. So what I mean by that is a lot of men, when they first have a baby, they feel invisible around their wife, like their wife. And this is how women especially, they're supposed to be hyper-focused on their children, but men start to feel unappreciated. They feel like they're just the ATM that comes home after work and nobody even acknowledges him. The kids don't even acknowledge him. A lot of the time, because they're so attached to their mom, is absolutely exhausted, just focused on the kids, so the man just feels very neglected, compared to he used to have all of her attention, and now he has 10% of her attention, and there's no getting through to a woman in the first few years of the baby. Even if you go take her out for just the two of you, she's going to be thinking about the baby, talking about the baby, as she should. This is not any shade to her, but they feel more and more neglected, and the only way, but at the same time this is where the trap comes in. They don't want to lose their family, so they can't get a divorce over this, because then they lose their family and their child. But at the same time, they've got this burning need that they don't know how to satisfy, so they live a separate life. And that's where the second wife comes in handy. Do you think we are polygamous in nature? One thing I would say is I think with men, I do think that if they were given 2 wives, you would never see them cheat. I would say that if they're given 2 wives, they will not cheat. I don't think so. I really don't. I think 2 wives are 2 headaches, and that's more than enough. It's also 2 mother-in-laws. And then, once you realize, being responsible for 2 women, how difficult it is, it takes up all your energy. But when you have 1 wife, and then she starts to neglect you, they start to sow here, there, everywhere, and they go all over the place. Whereas I do think if they just had 2 wives to begin with, they would probably not cheat outside of those wives. I don't think they would, from what I see. I'm not justifying. But then do you think then men are polygamous by nature, that they can't be satisfied with 1 woman? It's not that they can't be satisfied with 1 woman. It's just that as a man ages, his sex drive doesn't drop. Women's does, if she maintains it. He can be totally monogamous, totally. It's just that she doesn't always maintain it, and that's just not how we're designed. So it's not that they're polygamous, it's just that their sex drive is continuous. Whereas for women, their sex drive, particularly when they're super happy with their husband, it actually decreases. Kiss is sufficient for them. They're so happy they could go 10 years without doing the deed. Because they're like, I'm happy in my marriage. Why do I need to sleep with them? I did that 5 years ago. I don't need to do that anymore. So I think if they got the intimacy forever from that person, they would be fine with it. They only seek novelty when they have an issue. But generally, as long as they're getting the intimacy, they can easily be monogamous. It's when the intimacy drops where they become polygamous. The man becomes poly. When the intimacy is gone with his wife, then he becomes polygamous. So, okay, let's play another hypothetical or case study. Let's say both of them are in their primer. Yes, sex drive is a healthy male-female. Married, yes, can. We say the male and female are by nature, polygamous or monogamous nature. I would honestly say nature is more monogamous than we think. Okay, and there isn't. I say that is so many. Women come to me and say, I knew my husband was having an affair because he stopped having sex with me. Now, if a man is polygamous, when he's having an affair, his sex drive with his wife should be identical. Why is it stopped? If you're so polygamous, sleep with your wife in the morning and your mistress at night. Why does it stop with one of them? They're designed more monogamous than they realize, because if they weren't monogamous, no woman would ever get suspicious. But he goes cold. When he's having an affair, very rarely does he maintain the same level of intimacy. This suggests to me they're actually monogamous. They're just simply more monogamous to the person they have sex with, not particularly their wife, girlfriend, whoever gives them the intimacy. I know men monogamous to an escort that they met monogamous to her because she gives him intimacy, yet cheating on their wife because she doesn't. So they are monogamous, but they're monogamous to intimacy, not monogamous to a label of relationships or marriage. Would you agree or disagree as a man? I heard an interesting theory. It was like a 6-minute snippet on YouTube by Think Tank, and they were different, like professors, talking about polygamous and monogamous creatures and animals and human beings. And he said something. One of them said something interesting that I thought was pretty cool. He said all human beings are polygamous. It's a decision to be monogamous. And he said something like, in words, that it's like, if me and you are hungry, we can eat anything you bring, junk food, burger, healthy, we can eat. But does it mean with our brain and our psyche and our awareness, we should eat everything? Or you're like, no, I try to eat clean. Yeah, therefore by nature, I can eat anything. But I choose to live a healthier, better life. And he kind of, could it be that we're actually by nature monogamous and choose to be polygamous? That's interesting. That's why I'm asking you this. Yeah, for me, I just genuinely think when the fact that people in the beginning stages of relationships are naturally monogamous, there's very few people who are like, when they first meet someone, they crazy about them, cheat constantly from day one. There's something missing in the intimacy that creates the infidelity later on. Or there's something missing in the connection. There's something missing in the masculinity or femininity that creates the polygamy. I genuinely believe that when you are fulfilled, monogamy is a natural byproduct of a fulfilling relationship. It's not difficult. It's actually not difficult. But when you're unfulfilled, or you've settled in your partner, or you haven't selected wisely, polygamy is calling at you. It's like pulling you. So I would say that we're actually by design more monogamous. And I say this because as a therapist, I constantly see men come to me saying, I can't touch my wife. I miss my mistress too much. I can't touch this person. I keep missing her. I keep thinking about this girl. Men are saying this. So if you're so polygamous, why would you even be hung up on a girl that you used to date? Why you would forget her in 5 minutes and sleep with somebody else who's so easy? So I think there is more monogamy in them than we think. But then why? And it was interesting, where he said in the honeymoon era, let's say in the first year, it's very natural to be monogamous. Then why is it seems to be so difficult or so impossible? I don't want to use the word impossible, so difficult, that to sustain that natural monogamy by year 3 and year 4 or year 10, our motivation to please our partner decreases over time in the beginning stages. We don't see it as a burden looking after ourselves for our partner's sake and looking after our partner for our partner's sake, where there's a natural selflessness that comes over time. We forget to do that and we become more We take the easy route. This is human nature, by the way. Isn't not a bad thing. But if we maintain the desire to, care for our partner and be mindful of their needs and wants, I think it would be easy to maintain that. I think it's a meeting of needs, rather than just a desire for somebody else. The person who meets your needs becomes a person you start to desire. When a woman never cooks or cleans for her husband ever, I'll notice a guy say of this girl in my office, "She made me a coffee. I think I'm in love with her." And I'm like, what? What? Who is she? 'Cause I don't really know her, but... And they literally start fantasizing about her 'cause she met a need. And me a meta woman will say my husband never kisses. Me never tells me I'm beautiful. This guy at the gym, he always tells me I'm so sexy. I think I like him. This somebody's meeting a need. If we just make sure our partner is the person doing it, monogamy becomes very easy. Do you find monogamy easy? I find it as a decision, mum. And I think it can. Because my wound, when I read the book about wound, which book was it? If you want, I'll send you copy. It's French, and I got the English translation. And it's super. It's as good as the 5 love languages, which I think should be in every school. I think the 5 wounds should be in every school. Okay, so I'll try to quickly summarize. It's so wound 1. So the idea is the 5 wounds that you're exposed to during childhood, and then your ego designs a mask to cover the wound, but doesn't mean it's healed. It's just covered with a plaster, right? So it's a mask. So the first one was injustice. No, not injustice. Rejection. Jection. Okay. The mask for rejection. One is from either parent. So the first rejection, one of them is rejection. Like, you're not coming out with us. Yes, you're not allowed, and you took it as a rejection wound. The mask. Ishu for esh, who, withdrawal. Withdrawal, withdrawal, withdraw. So you're a person that you'll see never raises the hand in school. They're not proactive because they don't want to get any rejection anywhere. So they don't even be forthcoming. That's number 1. Number 2 is abandonment, which is huge with a lot of people. And abandonment is, Dad was too busy. Mum left me too much. I was with the nanny. So the ego creates the dependency mask. And that's very codependent. People when they're in a relationship, they latch onto you with the intuition or intention that if I latch onto them, they won't leave. And that's the same reason. They would leave because you suffocate them. Yeah. So you're there with the right intention. Like, no. Yeah, it actually creates the fear that they've been trying to avoid. Third is a humiliation. Okay, you look disgusting. You're a fat pig. You feel humiliated as a child, and you become a masochist. You bring pain to yourself. It can go extreme. Or you're a pleaser. You don't take care of your body. You gain weight everybody. Before me, 6 people invite you to their birth. You go to the 6. Oh, okay. You don't. You're never a priority. 4 is yours truly is betrayal. MH, and you felt betrayed by a parent. And if you felt betrayed as a child, I don't even remember when, but obviously, when I saw the symptoms, I'm like me. It's you become a controller. Okay, so you want to do anything not to be betrayed. And I noticed at work, I'm like, contracts make sure it's clear. I don't like ambiguous people. I don't like mysterious people, even in love. If you're mysterious, it bothers me because it's not clear. And I'm like, what are they up to? You need transparency. I love transparency. I love communication. The last one is rejection, and the first one. No, yeah, I thought it was sorry. Injustice. Injustice. Sorry. Injustice is maybe your siblings were treated better than you and all of that. And you become rigid. Okay, so I only work this way. I only do things this way. My house is this way. No, flexibility. So, I think I have that. I'm very rigid in the way that I think I have that. As my second one, I have that. My second one is, I'm very rigid. People always say, you're black and white. You're black and white. And I'm like, yeah, do you have abandonment? I feel so. Because I was very left out. So it must. And were you very codependent in your first relationships? It's more controlling than codependent. I can live my separate life, but I want to know what you're doing for a hallway all the time. So I'm very betrayal. Yeah, so I must have. But I definitely have that rigidness to me. It's very much like, never won, yeah. I have betrayal and injustice to me. And then I guess the rejection must have been there. If I'm left out, I guess they must have been some. It's sometimes. No, but sometimes rejection can manifest as abandonment. And some people. So we just have to re-add it. And you be like, that's okay. Interesting. And it's a good book to read. Great book. Who's it by? Do you know? No I'll give you. Copy. Yeah, perfect. Hi, I'm Sadia Khan. And you might know me as a leading dating coach. In modern relationships today, I work with men every single day to help give them the blueprint of understanding, relationships, women, attraction, and self-esteem. So if you are feeling stuck in your relationships and you want to unlock your full potential, work with Matt today by clicking on the link, and I look forward to hearing from you.